Party people, so today we're going to talk about another member of the developer Dao and Ankr, Josh Stein. If you guys have been watching the channel, then you guys know him as the Globe Trucker, because when he first came on the scene, the hitman kept sending him to a bunch of different places all over the world to represent Ankr in a very positive way, and he's done that. He's getting the chance to travel all over these places, and now he's also teaching, helping people grow as a developer, promoting Web3, trying to make Web3 a better place for everyone, not just group of developers, but everyone who's interested in Web3. He's a forward thinker. And what's interesting about Josh Stein is that he's always thinking about the future. What's the next big thing? And healthcare was one of the topics that came out. It was a topic that came out at the developer Dao meeting, and Josh at that time wasn't at that meeting, but we caught up with him on Twitter and we started talking about, hey, there's a lot of potential for healthcare in Web3. And then Josh Stein started talking about, hey, I see this being big in the next couple of years. There's lots of stuff. And personally, I believe there's a lot of truth to that with healthcare and Web3. I'm going to use dentistry only because I'm a little more familiar with dentistry than I am with traditional healthcare, via the doctors. But I know, let's say you go to one dentist and you decide, hey, I moved and now you're another dentist. You got to go get a new set of x-rays, new exam, new everything. And there could be problems with that because, your insurance may not cover for you to have exams done twice. Your insurance may not cover those x-rays. But what if it was on Web3 and that new doctor had access to those x-rays? Two, when it's on the blockchain, versus the traditional system, if the system collapses, you still have access, because it's a global network and there's redundancy in the system. So if there's no one point of failure like there is in traditional healthcare the way it is now. So this is, there's lots of opportunity. And then what about those patients that come in and they're like, yeah, I take a whole bunch of meds, take about 20 to 25, and that may sound crazy to you guys, but that does happen. You have a patient comes in with a paper of all the medications they take. The problem is their handwriting isn't the best. So sometimes you're looking at that paper and you're like, I'm not sure what they wrote. And then they didn't write the dosage. But what if all that information was on Web3 and you can access it quickly? You can find out who gave what medications to that person, and then you have a better health history of that patient, which means ultimately better health care for that patient. So there's a lot of benefits, and not to mention the price decrease in healthcare that could come from having everything on Web3. With it being so centralized, a lot of these companies are charging clinics an arm and a leg just to store their data. And the problem is if you go to someplace else, there may be issues with compatibility where even though this place has your records, they can't get it over to that other place because they're not compatible. There's no bridges between these two companies. So, Web3 has the potential of lowering healthcare, making it easier to provide better healthcare because you can have better health histories. It gives the patient themselves ownership of their own records. So if they want to let this doctor see their records, they can do it. So there's a lot of good things with healthcare and Web3, and Josh Stein has that idea in the back of his mind. So let's see what brews down the future, what stuff Josh Stein comes up with. Anyway, guys, I'm not affiliated with Ankr. I am a member of the developer DAO. Always do your own due diligence. Until next time, peace out.